on here when it's bad connection. But hey everyone, Lynn, Shelly Shell, whoever else has joined me. So I don't know what it looks like with a bad connection. But anyways, so I'm just driving up and down 78, burning up gas like I got, things to do. But I just finished my 2-hour Grubhub block, and I got 3 orders from Boston Market, not too far from from the house. Hey, I can't pronounce that name, but it said knuckle. I can't see it. So I did 3 deliveries with Grubhub, which total about $25, about rounding up $24. And then I had turned on Uber Eats for a minute and got a double batch order to a soul food restaurant not too far from where I live, but it's not an area that I normally frequent. But I was like, dang, I live in Stone Mountain. We really go too many parts of Stone Mountain unless it's closer to where I live. But this one was a very interesting soul food place, soul food restaurant. They had like huge portions of food when I seen people standing in line. I was like, I can't remember the name of it, but I could tell it's local. I could tell it's family owned, black owned. The food looked delicious. They had mac and cheese, collard greens, and I want to say I saw some ribs, but I didn't look at the menu. I didn't even go down the aisle to look and see what food they had, but I'm quite sure they had the typical soul food items on there. Hot bar, I guess. So I said, this is interesting, and then after that I was like, I'd never go on this particular side of Stone Mountain before. But anyways, I could tell that area will be real busy, so I'm going to talk off topic of what I'm going to talk about real quick and then get on to my topic. So this is how I just got through watching Drive Girl Drive video about people's attitudes, driver attitudes in regards to, hey, Mr. Safety. I was just watching someone's Drive Girl Drive video, and she was talking about attitudes of when people receiving tips and not receiving tips, and saying how she uses Amazon Prime to deliver her groceries weekly, and how she also mentioned about how when Amazon Prime, when they come to deliver the groceries, they have a better disposition, I guess, because when you get tips, whereas she was saying Uber Eats, they would like come to the door and feel disgruntled, and if you don't like doing it or whatever, then don't do it anymore. But you know what though? My thing is this. I don't mind, and I was just talking about this with Yvette. I said, I don't mind going to the door. My issue is that when going to the door requires that there's no adequate parking. That's my biggest thing. And this is with Grubhub too. Like last night, I had an issue with with 2 things. One, the girl lived in an apartment complex, and it wasn't just those typical apartment complexes where you just drive up, park, walk up the stairs and give you the food. It was one of those apartment complexes where You had to go to a private, go to the gate, then turn around, go to the door, and then go all the way across to go to the apartments. And I'm like, so I'm driving into the gate, you know, I see the Atlanta police car parked inside, you know, I'm like, now I didn't see no police in the car, but however, you know, when they have signs that says no parking, restricted parking, towing will be strongly enforced, don't you think that they have people just sitting in the car, in an unmarked car, just waiting for you to park somewhere, and the minute you leave and get out the car, you see a boot? And I've seen it happen for the last couple of days. I'm driving and I was like, you know, said nope, I can't park over here. And then I drive to get to the parking, designated parking. Then I see someone get out the car, put a boot on someone's car, and just boom, that's it. It was like that. And I was like, dang. So when I see signs that says towing strongly enforced, trust me, if they not sitting there watching, you know, these people, they get paid by how much money they could get a boot on. You know, they got things like that for a reason. But people still trying to tell you, oh, just put your flashlights, just park in front of the building, it'll be a few minutes. Man, it took 30 seconds to get that boot on that car, and I saw it in my own two eyes. Now, if UPS truck or I think it was a FedEx truck could get a boot, and they were FedEx, and I saw this about maybe months ago. What makes you think they're gonna put a boot on my car? But these customers, all they want is they think they're getting their food. So anyway, so last night with Grubhub, which was the worst night ever, I get up there, call the girl, tell her, you know, I'll be in the garage closest to the door, where all she had to do was go out of her apartment, go to the door. I mean, if I could drove up to the door, I would have drove up in the door. And I said, no, I'm not going, I cannot go upstairs. There's a police car out here, and there's no parking. You know, if y'all live in apartments and things like that, and there's no visitors parking, I'm not gonna be inconvenienced where you think you're gonna tell me